Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Punk Rock Review. Crap, 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 give us money. That's right. Anyhow, moving straight into it today. Today we're going to be talking about a, game that we had finally completed. Well, we completed it a little ways back, but we've been doing other stuff since then, and so, yeah. Here we are now. Anyhow, of course, we were talking about the one and only, controversy aside, Death Stranding. That's right. Death Stranding. So, we did our preemptive, we did, kind of a follow-up partway through, and now that we've completed it, we can talk about the rest of the, game and our final thoughts and opinions and everything on it and go from there. So, Death Stranding, man, controversy aside and everything like that, is one of the better games that we have played in a good while. It does a lot of stuff very uniquely. It does a lot of stuff very innovatively, and it does a lot of stuff just like really, really cool artistically. Now, that being said, the game definitely has its flaws and shortcomings. Some of the biggest stuff that, we had mentioned before was the lack of NPC-type characters and stuff that you really associate with on a regular basis, even though you do associate with some. The holograms aside and such, like, your character really never, like, gets into, seeing these folks here or there or anything like that. But there's nothing like coming in full speed in one of the little, trucks and then having a couple little deliverer guys walking around that you mow into, and they get all mad at you like it's your fault, and they're, walking down the on-ramp, but, hell, that is what it is. All in all, the game is definitely worth playing if it looks like a game you want to play. The action is there. The, boss fights are there. They're just not the greatest action and not the greatest boss fights. The artisticism, if that's even a word, it is now, we don't care. Artisticism in the game, is there, and it's prevalent throughout. And 9 out of 10 times, it knocks it out of the park, graphically and, just art direction, style, and everything. Like, yeah, the game is solid, across the board. Soundtrack, I think, Death Stranding won Soundtrack of the Year. Definitely the best soundtrack we have ever heard in an entire game. Now, we want to split hairs because, we think there's a difference between best score and best soundtrack. A best score would be someone, creating the music themselves and such, and, putting in new music to a, certain specific game or something like that. Best soundtrack to us would be drawing from other, artists and already created works and compiling them and putting it together on a, media form to, get out to the masses and such. And Death Stranding definitely has the best soundtrack, hands down. Now, there's other stuff with, great scores and good soundtracks on there, but, man, Death Stranding takes it as far as how, all that goes. But, that aside or whatever, all in all, it's a solid play if you want to be a, I guess UPS courier delivery guy, with, with a lot of other stuff to it. I mean, the game's great, but it's UPS delivery guy great. So if that doesn't interest you at all, then it's not going to be great up your list. So you'll want to, kind of avoid it. Now, as far as now having completed it, what can be said about it? Man, so gotta respect the art direction that they went with the ending of this game. As far as, completing a story and how they, kind of have it section off and go into, the final little bits and things like that. They do it good. But man, if it is not completely frustrating at the very endish, kind of near the endish, credit screens and such, that's, man, annoying. And out of all of the cutscenes and everything you could skip throughout this entire game, you cannot skip the credits. and it is annoying, super annoying. Out of all the credits we've waded through and all the games that we've beaten, throughout our entire lives, which is a good chunk, man, or whatever. You're talking about from, like, back on original Atari, man. Games that we've played all the way through to completion and such. So Atari, Game Boy, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, we weren't rich enough, or, we weren't rich ever, to have a Sega Genesis, so, we didn't have those. But we did beat the newest Aladdin that was re-released, that was the Sega Genesis version, so it counts, really. Man, out of all the credits that we've sat through, none of them compared to as frustratingly annoying as the credits were to sit through on this game here, just with how they were laid out and done and everything like that. So, is that a big gripe? Well, for someone like us, it kind of is, or whatever, because it actually sunk this about a whole point, man, in our final ratings for the game, just because we don't want to sit through that in a forced nature to, be like, okay, so that's it, right? That's it. That's the end. There's some good to be had. And that's what needs to be kind of driven home in the final review. There's some good to be had in this one. But it's going to be, as everyone's kind of already stated, genre specific and, play style specific. The game adapts and plays how you want to play it or whatever. I know a lot of people got frustrated kind of having to shake their little BBs and stuff, when they were crying or upset or anything like that. We shook our BB once in this entire game. No shit. When, it first kind of tells you how to do it and such. Other than that, like, if that baby was ever crying or anything, man, we just went on with our thing, and it's like, okay, well, BB needs you, and, the game plays how you want to play it. Down to and including, some of the rain scenes or whatever, the timefall rain, you can't skip through, even if you're in a timefall shelter, it'll just keep saying, like, the weather's not cleared, weather's not cleared, weather's not cleared. But, I'd say 7 out of 10 times or whatever, you are able to. So, I mean, if you didn't want to go through the, kind of darker part of the game and such, you can tentatively avoid some of that and such. But, yeah, all in all, the game has a lot of good, a little bad, and, its subject matter aside, and I guess playstyle aside, is what really, shot this thing in the foot from the get-go, because a couple folks couldn't get on board. But for folks like us who did get on board, I'll tell you this, man, we got 70 plus hours in this one easy. You didn't look at our last final, kind of hour usage or anything, but it's at least 70 hours minimal, and we got it full price 60, which we were definitely not unhappy with. Still not unhappy with that, even though now it's going down and down on sale, as all games do. Now you should be able to pick it up between 25 and 45 bucks. We like to think of, we dropped 70 bones on it, we got, or 60 bones on it, 65 tax in Delaware. We got 65 in on it, 70 hours. We're averaging less than $1 a minute for our entertainment and such, and that is or $1 an hour for our entertainment, and that is definitely okay in our books. And yeah, we love the game, but it's got a couple issues, so moving into the future, you can expect really, really great things, because now the ground is set, and you got a lot of good stuff to go off of. But anyhow, Death Stranding, play it, don't play it, we don't care, we just want your money. Death Stranding, all in all, you get a, you get an A. Not an A+, not an A-, but you get an A, because it was a solid effort, and it is definitely worth checking out if you're into, any new type of games or experiences or anything like that. So, there you go. Wow. Almost 10 minutes. Bet we don't get to 10. Bet we don't get to 10 minutes. I'll bet you right now we don't. You want to take the bet? Okay. Have a good one. You probably didn't. We'll catch you next time. Probably won't. I win.